Well, hello everybody. This is Douglas Allen Frazier with I'm Going Fishing 21-3. This is our time of inspiration, encouragement, and devotion, a time of sharing. And I want you to look at my shirt. I hope you can see it. I've had this for a number of years. I wore it to India quite often when I was speaking there. And if you can't see it all, it comes from Shift Happens. Shift happens. Now, I know there are a couple of other acronyms or ways that this phrase has been used, but I'm using it in the sense that you and I, we've got to shift sometimes our perspective on life, particularly our own personal life. And we've got to find new ways at looking at a situation or perhaps even another person who might be giving you a problem. And maybe that one that's giving you a problem is not another person, but just yourself. So one of the things we have to learn, and I think this is one of the greatest things we can learn as fishermen, and if you haven't learned it already, I'll guarantee keep after it long enough, and I believe every fisherman will tell you that is serious about fishing, patience begins by changing the way you view something. I can remember when I was probably a teenager, my brothers and I went up to the California coast to a place called Gaviota. So I had a beautiful place on the California coast. We used to get some good fishing there. It was a great place to camp. But we went out one day and we were fishing, I believe, for bonita. And we were fishing with our favorite lure, which was basically a chromed sinker with a treble hook. And it looked like a bait fish, an anchovy, and we constantly could catch bonita. Sometimes we would even hit upon a thresher shark who would chase after it, and we'd get hooked up, and that was quite a ride. But anyway, this one day, we went out, my two brothers and I'm telling you, literally, we cast our lures for anywhere from 8 to 10 hours. We did not get one strike. We did not get one bite, and obviously we did not get one fish. But I believe we all learned that being patient pays off, because the next day we came back and we had an absolutely awesome day, an absolutely awesome catch. So you see, we've got to look at our life from the standpoint of we can be patient with ourselves. We need to be patient with other people. And when we learn patience, we find that actually there is the wisdom of God that is involved with this. We can read in the Bible where it says, impatience will get you into trouble. Whoa, that's Proverbs 19:2. So you see, if we're impatient, we can get ourselves in trouble. Perhaps, I hope this is not true, but some people get impatient at a traffic light. They get impatient, they do something stupid, and they end up getting in an accident. There's another way of looking at this, and I'm going to close with this. This has to do with wisdom. And wisdom is something that we all need. It has nothing to do with age. If you're a young person, listen to this. I'm an old person. But I'm telling you this from my experience. A man's wisdom gives him patience. It is to his glory to overlook an offense. That's in Proverbs 19:11. You see, wisdom is seeing life, your life and somebody else's life, and life general around you from God's point of view. Now you see, there's nothing wrong in making that shift happen today. If you haven't been patient, work on it. Begin to make a shift. I think the shift knob on here is probably a 4-speed shift knob, but I think you can go to a 6. So at that point, you might have to make shifts along the way. You have to make shifts along the way, and you make them. This is not an automatic. This is not an automatic thing. You have to be involved in your own shift. And to close it out with a point of fishing wisdom again, if you're not catching fish with whatever lure or bait you're using, it's time to shift to something else. And you might have to change 3 or 4 different times. I'll guarantee you, when you learn to shift where you're at, you will have more success in your fishing life and in your life in general. We will see you again. This is Douglas Allen Frazier with I'm Going Fishing 21-3. We will see you again. Tight lines and cast to the right side.